Huh. Well, I'm live. Okay, so I actually want to give it a second. I don't think anybody's going to come in here, but nonetheless, I'll just sit here for a few seconds. Hey, Carlton, how you doing? Oh, well, it's four people. Hey, how y'all doing? I just came here to go live and talk about the upcoming thing with the YouTube channel and whatnot. Give me a second. You know what? The audio is gonna suck. I'm here and still waiting on our broadcast. When do you want to do it? What do you? I'm good. Oh, thank you. That's very kind, Carlton. Yeah. I'm excited. We're gonna see what happens, and it's what I think it's what I think I'm supposed to do next. And we'll see. Sean, yes, we have to set a date to do it. We have to set a date to do it. And get it started. Hey, Anthony, Alexandria, how you doing? Hey, Sebastian, how you doing, man? It's like 5 people watching. So, all right. So let me go ahead and say why I'm here or whatnot. Whoever's watching, can y'all hear me? Is it like loud enough for y'all to hear me? Yes. All right, cool, Sean. Hopefully it's loud enough. So, uh, what happens is, I think not. I think loud and clear. All right, thank you. I'm supposed to do this life coaching thing. Well, spiritual life coaching, and the content creation. So what happens is I log onto these things, and people have these opinions and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you my raw and unfiltered, uncut opinion," and they're like, and I'm like, I'm sitting here like, what am I supposed to do with your opinion? And this most of the opinions most of the opinions I most this that's what I think of most of the opinions. I could wipe with it. Nonetheless, I digress. So it's just they sit there and they go wild and then they feed and they pander. I'm saying they, but it happens. So I just think what's missing is a different perspective, a more clear and I can't find the word I'm looking for, but just if people could put in a little more effort and see exactly what's going on behind, the storylines, read a little more into it. A lot of people don't like to do that. Um, so I thought I'd give it a whack and go and upload this to the YouTube channel. We'll see how this goes. As far as the spiritual life coaching, that stuff is pretty cool. I'm moving into it, and it's all new to me. But a lot of people come to me and they'll ask me questions, and I'll give them the advice that I have, and they seem to like and appreciate it. And every day I learn more and more, um, and oftentimes it's pretty humbling. So it's a journey upcoming, and I'll see I'll see what's to come. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I don't think y'all would ask me anything up here, any advice, because y'all like, what is he doing? Why is he even live right now? So um, nonetheless, this has been cool. I'm gonna sit here for a few seconds just in case anybody was like, "Hey, I'm gonna jump on," or "I want to ask you something," or anything. I doubt that happened, but that's pretty much all, folks. Loud and clear. How's the lighting? I had to figure out this lighting all by myself. Tyrell, thanks a lot, man. Tyrell. I had to figure out the lighting by myself, but I don't think the lighting's too bad. How you doing, Sam? It's a new journey. I'm excited. I am rather nervous, if anyone can tell. I'm a bit nervous, but we're gonna push on through, and I'm gonna give my best go. It looks great. Thank you. There's a little stand stuff here on the side of me, but can't really see it. I guess maybe I don't know. I'm learning. This is the first video. I just got to upload it to the YouTube, and it's one day y'all gonna go like, oh snap, he really got better because his first video really sucked, and it probably will. This is just me jumping on here, really getting the jitters out. So I think what'll happen is next time I'll ask for a topic, but just to upload something, this is pretty cool. So y'all have a good night. It's all about starting growth. Always happens. Yeah. I've heard somebody say build the plane while you're in the air. And it's a bit it's I'm more of a calculated person. So when I do something, I have to figure out from A to Z as much as I can, calculate, and then I go for it. So this, of course, was this is nerve-wracking for me, but it's a new experience. It's what I think I'm supposed to do. And nonetheless, I'm gonna do it. Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? Yeah, sure. I think I need to get like people to comment a topic and talk then. Cause I think my conversation's pretty dry, pretty dry. But I'm gonna figure it out. But I can't get up here and just talk about nothing. It has to be something. You should do ASMR. That's not the like when they do the mukbang thing. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Hey, cousin. It's not when they, or is it just when you super close to the microphone, or is it when you when you eat? You know, I've actually been craving some seafood, so maybe I'll use that as an excuse to get some. Probably not. Maybe not. We'll see. uh, ASMR is when you have to whisper into the mic. And what do they talk about? What am I just gonna be like? What would I? Well, I'm not talking about much of anything now, so I guess I'd just whisper the same stuff that I'm saying much of nothing now. It's a good point. Yeah. What's something that's going on? I just read something. Is anybody not like I'm pulling stuff out of there, but I honestly I have to say the gas prices are not fun. I don't like the gas prices. If I must say, the first Rihanna. Oh, Rihanna had her baby. That's right. She had a baby boy. A baby boy. Rihanna and is it listen, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to stay a little better at I'm gonna have to get better at being knowledgeable about this, but I believe ASAP Rocky she's with, and they welcome a beautiful baby boy. Chris Brown posted, I think indirectly, he was like, "Congratulations." Is that appropriate for someone who allegedly beat a woman? That he, you know, yeah, he doesn't have a name yet and was born a billionaire. Lucky him. Like when you come out, do you look up at Rihanna and be like, "You're my mother"? Like it's like I wonder like what he can he expect? Because I if I'm honest and true, will Rihanna every day really shop at Target for the baby's clothes? Do you think that Rihanna actually, or is that more of a publicity Target sponsorship thing? I think maybe she'll like run and get some stuff from Target, but I don't know if she'll be like, oh, my baby is gonna get some from Target. I don't know. You will be born and never cry because what do you have to cry about? I mean, so I mean, a baby wouldn't know. It wouldn't be until the baby gets older that he's like, oh snap, money's important. You know, the whole adulting thing. Like a lot of us don't know what adulting comes from. So yeah, yeah, funny enough. If I could see that if I were a foster child and I was oh yeah. But I this is helping me talk about something. Anyway, if I was a foster child and I was like 10 or in my teens or something, then I'm like, oh snap, Rihanna just adopted me. Like, you know, play the odds, you know? Way to play the odds. I have jokes. I won't use that one. Sometimes you got to keep a joke to yourself. All right. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I was reading something that talked about trillionaire families. People don't know that they're trillionaires. Isn't that cool? There are other people. Hey, how you guys doing? I've been on here wasting everyone's time talking about nothing. I'll figure out stuff to talk about in the future. This is just I had to I had to come on here and do it for the first time because this was the day I set. And when you say you're gonna do something, you gotta commit to it, right? That's a whole thing. But I don't really have a topic, and I'll get topics. Nonetheless, listen. Thank you all for listening to me blab. But yeah, this is gonna be a YouTube thing, and I'll probably there's been people asking to like jump on the camera and stuff. I've avoided and declined. But now that I'm getting over my jitters here, uh, I'm gonna I'll try it out. So you all have a good night. Thanks for watching and commenting, and Terrell, thanks a lot for helping me not sit here and look weird. Wendy Williams finally getting funds. Actually, so moving in the future, I'll probably read more into all of this stuff. But Wendy Williams is one of those I happen to follow. Terrell, if you happen to want to come up, please do. Anyway, that was very bizarre to me. Like, I'm curious to know. Hey, little lady, I'm curious to know like what's going on with Wendy. There's just no way that you can convince me a successful lady like Wendy builds this mega million empire, goes on, to for season after season after season, and then she's sitting there doing some of the egregious things that they're alleging she's done in front of the camera. Like, do things to herself. Very, very inappropriate. I'm not sure how much I can talk about that on this live, but I never thought, and no one ever said that her ailments were to the point that she was a bit incompetent or that she couldn't keep up with her money. Apparently, Wells Fargo is in the wrong. She had the wrong people on her team. Yeah, that. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I heard about the Wells Fargo. I heard it was with the big bank. I do recall something about Wells Fargo. So if let's say allegedly it is Wells Fargo. I heard a whole host of things. It was like crazy. Like she's sitting there and she apparently got too close with the lady who was handling her money, and it got messy, and then the lady went back and told her people that Wendy was incompetent, and then they like closed the funds, and Wendy tried to get her son to be the power of attorney or whatever and take over her stuff, but they were like no, we'll keep the money, no thank you. So it was like really crazy, but I really can't imagine that Wendy's health has deteriorated that much. Like, I don't imagine. But then again, I don't know Wendy personally. Do I call Wendy up like, hey, how you doing? Do I go eat dinner with her? The answer is obviously no, but that's hard for me to fathom, you know? That makes sense. We need her. Do we need her back on the show? Yes, we do need. Yes, we do need Wendy back on her show. Like, I miss her. Like when I got this chair, all I could think about. I don't know if you ever paid attention, but when she sits down and she does this thing, she rocks a little bit. I've been saying that in my head. No one can deliver Wendy like Wendy delivers Wendy. She just. But I will say Sherri Shepherd. She's been a I think she's technically like a permanently revolving host, and she's been doing a phenomenal job. I love her energy. It took her a second to get pretty into it or like get comfortable or whatever, because she was kind of it took her a second to get her bearings, as would anyone. Just says the guy sitting here not knowing what he's talking about. Anyway, Sherri's been doing a great job, but and there are a slew of other hosts that have been doing a great job. Fat Joe and Remy Ma, they did a pretty good job. I did feel like Fat Joe and Remy Ma, if you ever seen it, Terrell, Fat Joe and Remy Ma, I felt like they were a bit out of touch. And for the average Joe, it kind of felt like the have and have nots conversation. I don't know. I just felt like they were a bit out of touch. Sherri is playing her cards right. She's been doing great, but we just need Wendy on the Wendy Williams show. Sherri has been playing her cards right and doing things. She's actually, yeah, she's been staying pretty humble and very gracious. I love it. Yeah, but yeah, Wendy does need to come back and do the show. Like actually, there people have been talking about how things have changed since Kevin, aka actually known as Kelvin Hunter, had they said that the show fell apart after he left. So that was something to take into account. He's suing them. Yeah, Remy Ma and Fat Joe, they're cool. I think for the purposes of like a revolving host show or whatever, they were fine. But like permanent guest hosts, well, they, this is no this maybe this is no personal jab at them, but maybe it's to be well, things to be said that they didn't get the permanent job Sherri Shepherd did. So maybe the higher ups didn't think they were supposed to get a show either. But yeah, Wendy. no one can do Wendy like Wendy does Wendy. But they were actually talking about Wendy coming on and doing like a farewell show or something, and Sherry's supposed to host it or something, and it was. But a lot of the cast and crew wasn't really feeling that idea, and I couldn't imagine why people would be like, "Don't bring Wendy back. Like she doesn't need to come back." Like, what reason would you have for that, right? And the only thing I can think of is like Wendy wore proudly that she did so many seasons, never called out, and she always showed up, yada yada yada. So all the while Wendy's calling, she's been out all this time. The other staff Wendy's like members like Suzanne and what's the guy name? What's his name? Norman, Suzanne and Norman and all the other camera crew and all the people who work on the floor that we don't get to see every day. Those people have to show up every day. So for her to take like a season or two break, it's like, I hope they're okay. Anyway, for them to take a season, for her to take a season 2 break, maybe they aren't as sympathetic. I wonder if that's really the thing. Like, that would make sense to me. Hey, it's three people came in. Hey, how y'all doing? At this point, I love to see Wendy do a tell-all with Oprah because I still have unanswered questions. Would that be like a woolly mammoth of a show if Oprah interviewed Wendy? I would. Are those two a good match, Oprah and Wendy, for in the grand scheme of talking about iconic shows and hosts? I'd say okay. But in terms of, is genre a good word, or do they do the same thing? Is Wendy a little more messy? Would that mess up? The two clash for me. Gayle King. Why is Gayle King popping in my head? Would she be good? I don't know. Oprah. Yes, because they've both been on daytime TV for so long. That Terrell, that's a good point. Yeah, they have been on TV for a very long time. I Okay, I'm here for it. Let's do it. When Oprah interviewing Wendy. But Wendy has to do it. So Terrell, like honestly, Wendy has to do a thing. Like a lot of people probably wouldn't read a book, but um well, I won't say that. What I will say is that it would spread faster if she did like a video or something, some kind of video interview or something, like live or something. People would be able to better consume it. So my point in saying that is, when Wendy steps out, I think at some point people want to know exactly what's been going on with Wendy. Like, it's so much like swooshing of the hand, like, magician slide tricks and all this, and people not being transparent, but Wendy still being in the public eye and people still digging in her show. Is like, it's not one of those things where you can just disappear for a little bit. They've kept her show on, so we're, every time we watch the show, we still wonder where Wendy is, and it's hard to get past, right? Like, so it makes you wonder from Wendy alluding to the abuse, but she's never said alleged abuse anyway. Yeah, she alluded to it. I watched her documentary of Kevin and whatnot, but it seemed clear she didn't put it in the movie that he beat her. He didn't say he ever physically abused her, and she's never come out and say. I think she's directly addressed that he's never done that. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, like what happened with Kel? I wonder if it was the divorce. I wonder if the divorce really pushed her over the edge. I wonder if that did it. Hmm. A woman having her family success and everything, and then divorce, and Everyone knows she did the drug thing. There are rumors of that she relapsed. I'm not an yeah. Keep her in your prayers. That's the most we can do. That's the most we can do. Cause I love Wendy. I love Wendy. Um, Wendy is she's great. She's iconic. She I'm waiting. They were actually talking about a podcast deal. It was like they've been throwing out numbers like 100 million or something crazy like that. So like I'm rooting for it. If that's what's gonna happen, I'm rooting for her. Sis got on video and said she only had $2 to her name with all that other stuff going on. How would I feel if I were I've heard all types of quotes. One quote is Wendy was worth like 60 million or something. How would I feel being a 60 millionaire? And that's not the that's certainly not the word for it. Anyway, how would you feel being 60 million one day and then waking up and someone taking all your like locking all your money? Let's touch on very quickly that who holds 60 million in one bank? That's something I haven't heard. Well, people, I assume people do it, but a lot of people I've heard. I don't want to say smarter people, but I've heard other people go in and say that they'll move their funds around. 60 million. It's a lot of money to just hold in one bank. Like, why would you keep millions and millions in one bank? Don't they only insure up to 250,000 per bank? But maybe once you get to a certain threshold, maybe they got policies and procedures and people in place so that your money is a little more safe. But jeez Louise, there's no way I'd be worth 60 million. Allegedly. I don't know how much she's worth, but we assume that's just a figure I've heard. But let's just say it is. I can't imagine being worth 60 million and then having $2 in my name. What did y'all remember White Chicks when when they were sitting there and they were at the scene and the dad had the gun and they were like, your father's broke. And the daughter's like, how broke? Are we MC Hammer broke or somebody broke? He was like, MC Hammer broke. Oh God, I can't imagine like going to that point. But y'all, I don't know if y'all remember that dude who's like, who are me to judge? No. Who are me to judge? Listen, I don't have anywhere close to 60 million, but I can guarantee you that when I get it, if I get it, I won't be giving it to Wells Fargo, that's for sure. But it probably won't be. It won't be in one place. It won't be in one place. It'll be mixed about. It's weird. It's very weird. Very weird. Very weird. How mentally unwell do you have to be to not be able to watch your money? All right, so just imagine this. Let's just imagine you have all of your life's earnings and savings wrapped up. This is Wendy Williamson, Wells Fargo. Wendy can't get her money. Imagine you have saved up your entire life, right? And then you got we're calling it 60 million. You got 60 million, and then you're like, I have my nest egg. Like, everything's great for me. I'm going to leave this to my son. And they're like, no, we're going to keep this because we don't trust you with your money. Who sits there? How you not going to trust me with my money? That's so stupid. But they have their reasons. It's gotten litigious. I'd make it litigious if it were my millions and millions of dollars in the bank. But it's one of those things. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you really gonna do? You sit there and you don't have any money, so you can't really do much fighting. But you guys know you stick a little money here, stick a little money there. Well, her money's probably better insured sitting in a Wells Fargo bank than in the market right now. The stock market has been brutal. Oh gosh. Wells Fargo has always been funny with the things they do. Okay, here's the thing with Wells Fargo. I did not trust Wells Fargo for a long time. I'm not even that old, but in the very little time I've been around here on Earth, they've been having all types of headlines about them. Their stock plummeted once or twice, and recently for sure, like it still hasn't recovered. So like, I personally don't trust Wells Fargo with my money, and I don't even have. I'm talking like I got somebody anyway. Yeah, I don't. If I were in Wendy Williams' shoes, would I trust Wells Fargo with that kind of money? No. So would it surprise me today that they got some kind of craziness going on where they don't want her to touch her money? If I were to choose any bank, like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a talk about so thing, it would be Wells Fargo that would screw it up. Anyway, I won't ever forget when their CEO said they can't find talented Black employees. Their CEO allegedly said that they can't find talented Black employees. That's a load of horse manure. I'm being careful with my words. I'm trying not to be as colorful. That sounds like I seen this interview one time, right? And these guys, very educated, successful guys, they're in insurance, right? And they were talking about how the airlines, maybe it was one specific or airline company, or maybe it was multiple, where the airlines were going to they were going to initiate diversity, and like they said that at least 50% had to be minority, like women and minority groups, Black, Asian, Latino, so on and so forth. And then they're having this big debate. So my thing with it is that you sit there and no one made this big a deal when people were saying, because you're specifically this color, because you're specifically that, we won't allow you to do this. That was a thing. But now they're saying, because you were specifically impacted, because you are specifically that color or that background, now we're affording you opportunities. It's a dilemma thing. So I went off on a tangent, but to pull it back, like they were talking about that, and then one of the guys literally go, "Well, I don't want someone untrained to fly the plane." I was immediately pissed off because, like, how does your mind, when the conversation is introduced to minorities and women, why did your mind literally jump to being less than, not as well trained, unprofessional, unequipped, like unfit? Like, why would your mind jump there immediately? So bringing that back to the Wells Fargo thing, I doubt seriously that he couldn't find qualified Black people. Like, you come on now. Do I got to pull out my toilet tissue again? Like that, that you're trying to feed me some bull. It's a whole thing. I'll read it. I will Google it. I'll Google it. That's rather interesting. But people have been talking about turning tables, and I have seen that minorities, and one thing that I've been loving is I've been seeing more. I've been seeing more opportunities spread about, and I love it. I love when there are opportunities for everybody. I love when more people are prospering. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, when Wendy, I love Wendy. She'll be back. I don't know. What if she retires? I don't know. That was good, Terrell. That was good. I talked quite a bit. But those are topics that I'll have to find. You can talk for days. You, I'm surprised you're not doing anything with it. Oh, but you're in the acting and modeling thing. You had some other thing that you had going on too. You keep up with a lot. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. Information is moving like crazy lightning fast these days. Like you go on the Googler, you go on the YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, like information moves fast. Like it's insane. So it's like in your face. But I'll do this again. It's, I've had people say, let's do the live thing. So I'll do it. This has been fun. I need to be making more content. I'm a realtor now. Might make more vlog stuff on that. That's what it was. I seen you post. You posted something like past or like realtor bad. It was something you posted. I remember it was something. Yeah, realty. Congratulations on that. That's pretty cool. There's a market for everything. I'd imagine if you posted some homes or whatever. I've seen people do crazy interviews like that. Posted. Even I go and watch. You know, sometimes you need like inspiration or whatever. Maybe you don't do it, but sometimes I need inspiration. I'll go watch the big houses or whatever, and I'll go see the walkthroughs and stuff. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I do have a fashion show on June 3rd. Walking in Tim Reed's show. That's pretty cool. I've never been to a fashion show. I've had people try to get me to walk in a fashion show, but I've avoided and declined. It's a I'm pretty sure it'd be a great opportunity. I've never felt like I'm supposed to be fashion show model. I feel out of place. I have an inspiration clip on Reels, but I definitely need to get more into making content. You inspired me today doing this. That is really cool. I'm glad that, I inspired you a little bit. The biggest thing is like setting down a date or making like some kind of solid plan and sticking to it and committing to it. This is a new journey for me, and not hopefully, I'm gonna have fun with it. If you're being called to do content or whatever you're called to do, I say pursue it. Digging down into my spiritual life coach bag, haha. It's been hard for me to accept. I don't know if you ever had like the imposter syndrome where you're like, I don't think I can do this. Like, there's no way that I can do this. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain. You're looking up at it, like, how can I do this? Like, there's no possible way. Like, this journey is for me. That's where I'm just coming out of, and I'm still teetering a bit in it. So you got these huge dreams and these huge goals, and you're like, how am I gonna accomplish them? How am I gonna figure it out? And you want to do everything you can to just make sure that it's fail proof, or maybe that's just me and I was procrastinating anyway. Is that perfectionism or whatever when you sit there and you keep delaying things until in your mind you think it's perfect. You're the one who wants to be a spiritual life coach. You should know these things. I know. I'm gonna read it. Give me a break. But yeah, it's a huge thing. When you're sitting there and it's very daunting to think like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like to ask yourself that question. You sit there, most of us, we get asked that question, 18, 19, 20. You're like, what are you gonna do for the rest of your life? I don't know. What are you talking about? What is adulting? A lot of people, they don't want to be adults. They just want to stay out late. You just want to have fun. You don't want to be adult some people want to be adult, but back to the chasing the dream or feeling like there's something you want to do. Some people, we go around and we don't quite know what we want to do. Um, and that's okay. So what I tell people is like life can be like a big pinball machine. I don't know if any of you remember that game where you pull the lever and the ball shoots and then it like pings you all over the place. And then you got to keep the ball from falling in the hole. That's what life seems like to me. Life just like springs you out about and you're banging all over to the place until you figure out exactly where you want to go. And it's okay to try different stuff. But when you think deeper into it, the more you progress through life and everything, try different stuff, and one day you'll come about something that you're like, oh, I kind of like this, or you'll be like, no, this isn't quite for me. I don't want to do it. You have me for about another week or two. Then I have to go. I have to go to Atlanta or something. I don't know where you're going. You're going to Vegas. I don't know. You're going to Dubai, wherever you want to go. Anyway, um, you bounce around until you figure out this is for me, this is not for me, and then you eventually you narrow down. What you don't want to do is wait until you're 68 and be like, oh, this job, I just haven't found a job yet. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't wait. Don't do it forever. Eventually you want to be able to learn yourself a bit. Eventually you want to be able to um definitively say this is where I want my life to go. And through that process of bouncing around, eventually you'll get that feeling inside of you, that calling, like, oh, that's my path. And it's okay to be like, oh, and it's okay. Don't feel like it has to be your final destination. So if you get to that place, you're like, this is where I'm supposed to go next. And then a year or two or three into it, you're like, oh, I had fun, but now I want to move to the next thing. Hey, babe, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. When you're interested in getting monetized across your social media platforms, I'll be available to help you in that process. I work with /managed content creators. Hey, that's pretty cool, Ricky. I'm gonna have to have conversations with you about that because all this stuff is very, very much new to me, of course. I'm always, um, always be into real estate personally. I make music as a creative outlet. I like to dance for stress relief. Real estate is a good one. Wealth building tool and other things. Some people just like houses or whatever. Me personally, I do like the idea of real estate. Um, I One thing I want to do is own apartment communities. I've always wanted to own an apartment community. More than one would be nice if the Lord wants to bless me. Anyway, but yeah, just I kind of like architecture. I worked in apartment management for a while, so I got a chance to see different stuff. And apartments can get cool. The only thing for me, like, I couldn't work there for long because it's like, oh, another four walls. Oh, this is your kitchen. This is the bedroom. This is the wall, bathroom, yada yada. Yada. It gets a bit repetitive. Um, but real estate is pretty cool. I can, um, I love that for you. I love that for you. If that's what you're here's the thing. If you find genuine interest in something, go for it. Go for it. I tell people, there are three things when it comes to job. You can have three realities. Most people, they if you looked into it, they did a survey. Most people hate their jobs every day. They get up. I think it was like something crazy, like 70% of people hate their jobs or something. Like every day you get up and you're like, I can't wait until I can do anything else. Like that's horrible. Um, so that's the normal. You don't have any interest, you don't like where it is, you don't like the people around you, you just want to go. The second tier up from that, that mid tier is going to be finding something that you can tolerate. If you can find something you can tolerate, you're in a pretty good boat. Let's say you want it to be the next Beyonce, but then you are very fulfilled working at DMV. Work at DMV. Enjoy it. It's a modern day luxury being able to get up and say, I can put up with this. Like, this is okay. Like, I'm ready to find fulfillment in something else. That's it's a luxury. Yeah. Find something you can tolerate. And then that top tier is going to be, finding something that you love to do. Top tier is going to be finding something that you love to do, something that you're passionate about. If you can find that, it's a modern day luxury. You're in a good boat. But there's no blueprint for it. So all of us, we're just figuring it out, right? And Terrell for the win. As you all can see, he's in real estate. He says, message him on buying. If your score is at least 640 and you have income, you have a chance at qualifying for a home loan. First-time home buying programs work for buying multifamily homes. Really? Oh, I might have to one day. No, it's something I want to do seriously. So, that's pretty cool. I heard of like a quadplex or something, and it's certain. Oh, it sounds awful. Anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for the conversation. I've dragged this out quite a bit. I'm going to upload this to the YouTube thing, and next time I'll have topics. I'll figure out like a thing to do. Anyway. Thanks, Terrell, man. Thanks for everybody who watched and tuned in and listened to me blab on about starting and Wendy Williams, and all types of stuff. So, anyone who's watching, y'all have a good night. Thanks a lot.